Yo. What's up? What's up? I know, I haven't been here, right? That's been my L, but it's also been my choice because I had to make changes to the sim. The changes have been made if you didn't realize already. You know, so that took a little bit. You know what also sucks is this game doesn't natively support the wheel. I haven't played it very much at all, so I am going to suck quite a bit today, but let's frick off with this microphone, dude. But it's gonna be a mess. First off, where's my sound? There we go. Controls. So, like, let me see if... Like, this is just car, right? That's got some stuff, but... It's just unfortunate. Like, the D-pad does not control this. The paddles does not control this. And I'm just very used to that. So it's really going to change the way that I play CarX. You know, that was one thing that I really liked about playing CarX is I could, you know, I wouldn't need the keyboard at all. Yeah, whatever, right? Frick. Sorry. Here's my settings. You know, 900. I've left it at 40 for now. And then I turned all this crap off. The only one that I'm running is one of smoothing, because I feel like that helps out. It's a lot different than how it acts in Beam, so I might be messing with some of this. Today I'd prefer the wheel to act more so like Beam, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But I think I'm just gonna drive that blue... him, or him. Either one would be good choices. I do like the way an S15 looks. Let's just do training. Let's get out there and let's start lapping parking A, because that's all I'm gonna need is just, you know, all I need is some seat hours right now to get relatively good. But, so, oh, hold on. You know, check this out, right? So I got my shifter, right? Clutch button. Does its proper job. Okay, as you can see down there, bottom right of the screen. Then I got my shifting and whatnot, sequentially. The handbrake does not pull, if you notice. It only pulls the handbrake. It doesn't pull the clutch as well. I had to install more software just to play freaking CarX. Unbelievable. But from Joy to Key, I just haven't set it up to run with the computer. You can set this to turn it on as a button. It's not an axis technically, but it turns on when I pull the handbrake. So either way, it keeps me from stalling out in my setup that I have here. But here's what I want to show you, dude, is, so say, oh, say for one, right, there's no feedback right here in the middle, and I'm wondering what causes that, because now there's feedback. I just want to make sure there's no, like, dead zone or something on, because that's exactly what it feels like. Right here in the middle, there's nothing. And it goes so far as to do that as I'm drifting, too. Like, see how... But watch the wheel flip. And you can literally see when it hits the feedback point. And I don't know if that's just me being stupid, but I feel like that's not relatable at all. That doesn't do that in Beam. In Beam, I can feel the feedback through the whole transition. This is way too jerky. You can literally see it. Here's what it does, right? I'll show you it. Is it comes like this, and it literally locks, hits its own feedback, and bounces more a little bit like that. Look at that. Where it hits the feedback, but that whole previous transition, that whole force is just not feedbacked at all. That's a great way to say that. I know, but it's just peculiar. Okay, it's gonna take me a very long time to get used to that if I can't tweak that out. See, look at that, dude. Nah, something is off. Something is totally off. There's no freaking way. You telling me I gotta turn my wheel completely half just to barely turn? Nah, something is amiss, right? Okay? I knew I wasn't crazy. I may not know how to fix the issue, but look at that. There's no way that I should have to turn the wheel that much just to turn that small amount. That is some bull crap. Where? Like this bull crap down here. It's hardly frickin' moving, and I'm doing all this. What would that be under, right? Don't even ask me that. Manual, simplified steering wheel, right? We want this to be at 900. Auto centering is off. Steering assist is off. I sure want to try that one at 0.1. How's that feel? Look at that. Even the game doesn't even register it perfectly straight. You telling me that's perfectly straight? You see what I just frickin' did there, dude? Just to show that off better, I just leaned this whole chair frickin' back. Whoops. Hit my mic. Anyways, right? The issue is not fixed. I'm not happy with that. So I'm just gonna go through each of these individually until I find one, right? Steering dead zone is off, so it wouldn't be no dead zone crap. I think what it really is I'm just used to a low quality Logitech wheel. If we're being real, I think that might actually be like what's going on here. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is like, whoa, why is it doing that? And number two, the more so one that saves me a little bit is it doesn't do it in beam, or that I've noticed Assetto. It's just weird when this game rotates. There's like no feedback and it's very quick, you know? And I know that I could change this crap via like pit house, etc. But I shouldn't have to, and I don't want to. I want to be getting the full experience, but I want it to be realistic. So however I need to go about getting that. They don't even tell me what this does. Let's crank the inertia all the way up and try it like that. See, the drifting isn't the part that gets me at the moment. Right now it's the transitions. The drifting, I still got a relative amount of skill, I'd say, in the game. So it's not like that'll be the hard part to relearn. The hard part is going to be like, look at how jerky he is, bro. I don't know, man. It's just peculiar. That it really is peculiar, you know, to put it lightly. Look at that. Look at that. Frick, dude. I'm just not used to that speed of rotation. I think that's the actual issue that's going on, but that's what's gonna make me suck for the longest amount of time, bro. Like, I do not like my brother's. Now I gotta go back to my brother's and try it on his. His is, you know, frick, dude. I got you know, a ton of congestion. Once again, you gotta love that. But seriously, I don't remember my brother's wheel acting this way. And his has more force than mine, right? So, that's the peculiar part. See, for direct drive, they recommend 0. So I feel like I shouldn't even be touching this crap, and this should have nothing to do with my wheel, but we'll see. Gosh, dude, what the frick have I done? Oh, that's awful. Oh, that is atrocious. No wonder they recommend 0, huh? Stabilization, huh? See, I can still feel it, dude. I can still feel it. Even when I'm not drifting, I can feel like right here, We got nothing, dude. We got like little to none feedback, and it grabs about there. All right, let me drive straight so you can frickin' see that. Grabs. Starts giving me a little grab right there. But all this whole like half of a turn is no feedback, nothing. Isn't that peculiar? Oopsie. Gosh, dude, what the frick is happening here? What the frick is happening? Prediction. And I know I'm going a little bit over the top, maxing them. But, you know, if you max them, then you instantly get the feel for what it does. That would be my argument. Just adding 0.1, I probably wouldn't even notice it, honestly. Look at how quick that frickin' thing transitions, dude. I'm just not used to that. Like, I'm not doing crap, and it's still keeping itself relatively straight, too, right? Logitech would never, because it just doesn't have enough force. It does not have enough force to turn back and forth like that. This thing does. Gotta get better with the button usage, man. Like, it's all there. It's just mentally it's not clicking yet. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna try. Prediction off. We're gonna take the feedback itself and we're gonna put it down to 10. And we're just gonna go from there. But I still feel like it's not necessarily a feedback issue. Holy crap, that might be a little too low. I can't even feel that. Okay, that just doesn't make any sense. That makes 0 sense at all. Yeah, dude, it's just weird. It's pulling like, it's almost like it's pulling a Carxdrift. If I had to, like, compare it to anything, dude, it's like the feedback is all in and out and it just feels wonky. And it's not normal. Alright, hold on. I've only tried like a very small amount of vehicles. Let's switch it up. Let's change cars. And see what else we could do, huh? Maybe see if someone else is smoother. Maybe it's just my build. It could be that too. It could be the way that I build my cars is far different on the Moza. But I still feel like the fact that I have this much wheel turn without any feedback means that my issue is a little bit more in depth. Oh, what the frick is this, dude? Sorry, Dead Race. My frickin' thing got all screwed up, apparently. Because I haven't played this game in a bit. So now I don't have my Fent. But that's alright, I guess. I like this one, too. It's just, it's too difficult to pick. It really is. Look at all that frickin' clipping. Or dang near clipping on the rear fender. It's unbelievable that I actually allowed that. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It is still very okay. Like, here's what I can't do right now. Right now, I cannot do a slow transition. Okay? It's just always, it's always quick. Like that. Yoink. Just the way he throws his rear end out. I'm not necessarily doing it like that. That's just how quick the wheel turns. And I can't frickin' control it. That's what's happening right now. Just so that you sort of understand my thought process. As, you know, as you just watch, you aren't feeling this. Like, this feels solid, dude. The feedback right there on that left turn. Solid as frick. That felt amazing. And that, look at that, dude. That's freaking weird. That is freaking weird. Like, right there is a massive, like, loss of feedback. And I can't really explain that one. Who else do I have, dude? Like, who is known for being smooth? And that red car instantly came into my mind. Not that one. You know I don't like that. That freaking RX-7 freaking sucked. But you know I'm talking about him. I always had good luck with this car. Don't screw me now, right? And it's not... I don't believe it's any of the cars screwing me. I think it's a lack of skill. But it might be something to double check. Just make sure all my inputs are reading proper. Because it's very peculiar, indeed, that I have no feedback for, like, this much of my turn. Like, are you serious right now? Be real. Be real, dude. No feedback for that much of your turn? This is, like, nothing. Okay, so it still picks up feedback. When I hit the bumps, I feel it. But it doesn't turn the frickin' car. Alright, then. Which I would never do this normally. And they did say to recalibrate if you do. But I want to try turning that down. I definitely do not want to learn the game on a smaller, you know, rotational wheel, because that would throw me the frick off if I changed it or if I played another game. And I just wanted to make sure it does still have that weird feeling, so it doesn't change anything, just so you know. I'm still driving. I mean, it is picking up input. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just far too less. Well, that's awful English, but it's far too little. Alright, let me see what Pit House has to say, if I can do, like, a recalibration on it. Just because I've changed it, I don't want to, you know, have any issues like that. I would prefer to just fix it once. Maximum steering angle. So this thing is set to 900. How do I do the calibration? What's the difference between work mode and standby mode? Okay, dude, I can't figure out where to frickin' do just the reset, dude. That's all I want to do is the freaking unbelievable that this information is not easily accessible. Holy crap, dude. No. Exit. Get the frick out of here. No more reminders. Get the frick out of here. Oh, look at this. Sorry, dude. I'm frustrated. And why does it ask this every time, dude? Get the frick out of here. I'm gonna have to, what, add this frickin' app as an exception or something? Like, what the frick is happening here? Every time you open it? Can I just figure out how to do a quick calibration on the wheel? That's all I want to do. The quickest little calibration. Oh, okay, we're reset. Just because I changed it. Wheel base, reset, and calibrate. Ah, I forget how to unplug the freaking wheel, dude. Just like that. Okay. Then what? Do not connect. I guess I can bring this over here. Why can't you see, right? I don't care. Start. You know what I hate is putting this thing back on. Be real, dude. Lining it up doesn't work as easily as it makes it sound. Oh, yeah, just line it up and then it clicks right in. Okay, dude. Oh. 46 seconds. Did it just go up? I think it just went up, dude. I thought it was at like 30. Yeah, this is a real enjoyable moment, I'm sure. But honestly, you know, it's just for peace of mind because, watch, dude, I could even pull up a different game. And I know that I do not play different games per stream, right? And I'm not making an exception. But I'm making an exception to show, okay, look, this is how I can drift in this game. Notice how there's feedback here. Notice how the wheel interacts, you know, with the environment in the game. And then how it completely differs in this one. Great. Finish. Am I good to, you know, touch it again? Okay, cool, because that's what I'm doing. So see, oh, chill out, pal. Why's he doing that? You see that? Okay, well, it... Active pedals. That is pretty crazy, huh? I'm not even gonna look at that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's not center. Okay, that is easy. Easy fix. Okay, dude. Let's get the frick back to the game. Which I put it back to the 900 degrees, correct? Yes. So I'm gonna do... I will actually do that just to show. Because there's like nothing here, dude. And it's just weird. There should be way more... Look at that. What the frick is happening, dude? Quite honestly, that feels awful. And quite honestly, I'm not going to actually play the game like this. Look, there's nothing. There's nothing. Not a lick of feedback right now. What the frick is this Carxdrift moment? And it's like it speeds up quicker. It's like it speeds up quicker to get out of the no feedback zone. That's why it's such a snappy transition. I could be cracked. Like, this feedback, when I'm holding a line, the feedback is superb. Why can't it always... Look at that. What the frick was that, dude? See how quick it does that bullcrap? Gosh, dude, that is just frustrating as frick. I'm not even joking. Like, look, when I accelerated, there was not a lick of feedback. Total Carxdrift. Look at that. The wheel is not turning. Well, there's my issue right there. That is my issue right here. Whatever the frick this is doing is my issue. What? Do I have feedback at all anymore? What the frick happened, dude? No, I do not. My feedback is just gone now. Where's Beam? Spawn. Come on, let's get this show on the frickin' road. I'll just pull up, you know, Marshall. Trustworthy Marshall. Right off the rip, I feel frickin' feedback. Right? So looky here. There's solid feedback. There's solid feedback, right? Transition. There's feedback throughout. There was feedback all the way up until the car gripped up. Full feedback. That's what I'm getting right there. It's full frickin' feedback. That's why I am in such control of the vehicle. And this goes for any beam car. It's not just the Marshall. It's any frickin' car in this game. I can drift relatively well. We'll use the Sunburst, the one that, you know, has way too much horsepower. Where even is it? Pro Drift. Probably start him up in 5th gear. He's got a solid turn in on him. But when it comes to that transition, even that was a little rough. But that's just how this frickin' car is, especially you hit wheel lock too. I am able... I hate not when it's not a sequential and you can't just frickin' drive. Get the frick out of here. Regardless, you saw it. Well, I don't really know. Like, does that help you to understand what I'm feeling? Maybe not, right? It could just be frickin' pointless to have done that whole bit. But I was able to recognize at least, oh, that's what drifting feels like. And it felt normal. Wow, you know? Like, I understood the basics of what the wheel's doing. Now, I can't understand the basics of what the wheel is doing. Because it's doing things that are not necessarily, you know, real. It's how I would put that. Yeah, there's not really any other way to put that. There's, like, no feedback for all of this. What the frick is that? I can feel it instantly in Beam. I can feel it instantly doing this, even. You know, even less, I'm sure. And I could feel the feedback. Where is this guy, right? Yeah. Let me try, right? Because why not? They don't tell me what this one does. Linearity of accelerator. What the frick is that? Turn that off. Turn that off. What the... Well, accelerator is gas, is it not? What does linearity mean, necessarily? Okay. It does make it go up a lot quicker. Okay. So that could be a good thing. Because the steering linearity was maxed, and I took it down. Which means that it should be having less. Turn back, correct? I'm sure it doesn't fix my issue, but it does not. Look at that, dude. That's so wild. That's awful. That's actually awful, dude. That feels atrocious. Okay? Wheel. It's just weird, dude. It's freaking weird. I don't know what these do. You know? What if I do it like that? Holy crap. Okay, well look at that. That gave me a ton of freaking feedback right here. Way too much, of course, right? Like it's actually fricked, but then if I'm understanding that correctly, does that mean that this is the center of the wheel and that's the out of the wheel? What if I do it like that? What does that feel like? Oh, there we go. Look at that, dude. Wow. Now I have... Look, I mean, look at the difference. Look at the frickin' difference, dude. I'm turning like this. He's, like, actively swooping down the road. Change this frickin' crap back. Turn it off, right? Oh. Well, now he seems to be doing it still. Okay, that seemed to just have gotten way different. And I don't understand why. Look at that. What the frick happened, dude? Did you just see that transition? That was the world's smoothest transition. Just like I would do with the Logitech. Like... Well, it's to the point where I know my angle is not so sharp that he's not gonna whip it. He's gonna do it like, just like that, dude. What the frick? I turned the setting off. Did I not? It's off? I didn't change anything, dude. Why is it different? Frick off. Oh. That's weird though, right? I mean, it's not just me. Wasn't just a one-time thing, was it? Like, I got a ton more feedback. I'm transitioning far better. Really gotta get used to that clutch button, dude. Look at how much smoother the wheel is reacting now. Like he was not reacting that smooth before. That's the weird part. That's what's throwing me off still. Alright, back to the track. We're gonna do a lap or two. I don't even know where I am. Where am I? Oh, I'm still on the inside. Uh-oh. Oh, get the frick out of here, dude. I always do that. Look at how smooth those shifts are, dude. Be real. I love sequential, dude. This is, that is exactly what I wanted right there. What the frick changed, man? What the frick changed? Because I guarantee you I'm going to go to a different car, and it's going to start pulling that same crap again. And I'm just going to be like, well, but this guy was originally doing it. This guy was originally doing it. So it's not like it's a brand new issue. Gotta get quicker. I need to frickin', you know what I'm not used to? I'm not used to pulling or hitting the throttle while the handbrake is enabled. That's just, my mind is set to not most of the times, I guess. But with this setup, I need to. Okay, if I'm coming in to, you know, like a low speed handbrake entry, that's the only way that I can have my clutch enabled. I have no pedal. Unless I had a button on the wheel, which I ain't doing that bullcrap. Look at this, dude. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is so much fun, right? This, I could get good like this. Frick yeah, dude. Look, I'm already one-handing comfortably, too. That's, you know, like, that's the thing. What a peculiar way to use the clutch button. You see that, dude? With the third finger. With the third finger. Look at it. Wow, dude, this is great. What the frick did I do? See, that's what I really hate, is I didn't do nothing. And now it's just working better. Like, this is immaculate. Look at how smooth it's transitioning. Alright, new car. New car. Get the frick out of here. And what I want to try is somebody I know is good. I know this guy's great. Well, are we back? Are we back? What the frick happened, dude? Was it really? No. This guy's a little bit sharper. Sharper edges, I will say that. With the feedback. Oops. Frick, dude. You see that? You see that hesitation? I wonder if that was on the camera, dude. Because that was absolute hesitation. Because, you know why? I'll tell you why, too. Because I have two frickin' clutches. And I was like, handbrake turns my clutch on, right? Okay. Not an error. I was not in error when I said that. However, handbrake was not the option that I needed to get the clutch right then. Okay? I needed to use this clutch. Oops. That's where it gets a little bit difficult. And that'll go away with time, and I'll immediately know which one to reach for. Frickin' smooth as frick, dude. Be real. Be so real right now. This is gorgeous. This is amazing, dude. Look at that. Frick, I need to sneeze again. Frick. Trying to make me lose my line or something, dude? Get the frick out of here. Look at that, man. Of course they were gonna fail that, right? Imagine seeing that in real life. Would you think, oh, drift failed? If you saw that exact same turn in real life, would you think, oh, that's a fail? Kiss the wall. Oh, freaking gorgeous. See that? See that? My mind picked up. I was like, okay, I do not need the handbrake, but I need the clutch. Move your freaking hand. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, this is freaking baller. This is so sick. That was awful right there, what I just did. What I needed to do was accelerate before releasing the handbrake. However, I still saved it and still looked like a legend whilst doing it. I'm joshing, of course, but that's actually what should have happened. This is going to give me hours of enjoyment, I swear. This will give me literal hours. Oops. Look at how comfortable I am with the wheel already, man. To be drifting with my middle finger. Oops. See, I did it again, dude. I did it again. I was like, okay, I'm done with the handbrake. Now I need the clutch. What the frick was that mind thought process? You know, I'm already on the clutch, dude. You could have fixed that just by hitting the throttle. That's the only thing that I had to do right then. Hit the frickin' throttle. Well, this is great. I really don't think I need much more time to just practice around parking A. I think we can get back to work. Okay, and that's what we really need to do, is get back to work on the cars. I think what I'm gonna do in reality is... Oh, I don't know. I feel like I had really good luck with this guy. Oh, I got good luck with the Chaser, though, too. Or the 350. I like my Chaser, though. I am a sucker for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my Mountain Dew, and then I'll be right back. Sorry for the delay, man. It's a little bit rough getting in and out of this frickin' chair, I will say. Especially when I got all these wires. Because these things don't just disappear when I need to move. Right? I think I got it pretty figured out. Okay, so here's what I'm going to try. Next in the line of testing is... I want to turn those settings right back on. I don't even want to try the car. I want to turn... Not that. Where is that? Which one was that? This. Turn that back on at that angle. Look at that smooth. You see how smooth that was? That is not how it was acting when I first started, right? Like, are we on the same page with that? Please tell me someone agrees that it's different than how it started. Or is it really just like me? Am I controlling it differently without even knowing, without realizing? Have I learned how to negate how the wheel does that? Okay, so this feels very sharp. Right? Having this setting on really changes the way that it feels. Not necessarily bad. I could get used to this immediately, but it feels a little peculiar. So what I'm gonna do, I feel like this is not close enough, but maybe it is, I don't know. I'm gonna turn it back off now. I'm gonna stop the vehicle. And we're going to turn that off. And I'm gonna do another lap. I'm gonna see if anything differs. Or something like, oh, well, he didn't act like that last time. I can feel it. It's a little bit looser right now. Really not the end of the world loose, though. It's definitely a learning curve, I will say that. So what I feel like is he does transition a lot sharper like this. And I know that I said the other one was sharper. What I meant by that was like the tautness. Frick. The tautness of the actual feedback feels tighter when that setting is on. This feels a little bit looser, and it feels a little bit jerkier on transitions, like, but it still seems smoother, dude. It still seems smoother than when I first started, but maybe I'm just more so used to that now. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. What I do got to tell you is that I could have opened this freaking bull crap because, come on, gang. Mountain Dew with the new freaking ugly logo. Oh, hey, look, it's just like the OG one from 1948. No, it's not. This was not the 1948 logo anyways, but that was a stupid comment for me to say. But either way, dude, it doesn't match the logo that they're trying to recreate with this one, and I don't like that. It's like they made a new style of the older logo, and that's just not cool. Is it just me, or does Mountain Dew, right, only from the can, I really only noticed it from the can variant, tastes a little bit like soap. Like the aftertaste in my mouth, a little soapy. I feel like, you know, it's got that slightly bitter, almost like sour, you know, like when you put soap in your mouth. And it's like that sort of like, ugh, you know, that taste. That's what I get on the aftertaste of Mountain Dew in a can. And honestly, I've grown to love it, but it's still, like, sometimes I'll drink it, and I'm, like this time, specifically, took a hit, and I was like, ugh, a little soapy. And I don't know if that's relatable at all. I would hope, but maybe not. I don't know. Alright. Let me get a little bit more comfortable drifting him just like this. So here's what I'm going to do from this right here, this area of the track. We're going to do 2 laps. I just started. So this is the beginning of lap 1. We're doing it based on the wheel. And I'm just going to focus. I'm not going to try to do necessarily anything cool. I'm just going to keep the car drifting throughout. You know, we don't got to do no mega backies or anything like that. We aren't necessarily trying to be cool. We're just trying to get a good feel for how this crap is going to act through 2 solid laps. And I know the Chaser very well. I understand this vehicle and how he drifts. So I feel like this is a good guy to sort of try that with, right? And look at, for one, look at how differently this moment was right there, frick. Right? And I know I crashed, but I had to make a point to show how the handsless drift does. And I do want to try that a couple more times just to see, like, say I come out of this turn, right? Sharp angle, let go. How does he react if I let go of the throttle? Relatively quickly into straight, right? So then we'll try that on the second lap. Look at that transition. Okay, that was good. That was actually really good. I really liked what he did there. That was natural. Starting up on my lap 2. Feeling slightly more confident, right? Okay, still screwing up on the handbrake to throttle ratio. Look at that. Look at that auto sort of drift. Okay, we're going to see how he reacts once the settings turn back on. Remember, this is with no sort of assist on other than 1x smoothing, which I just feel like that's a natural. That one stays on 24/7. I don't give a frick, because without that, it just gets too bumpy. Like, it actually just makes it bumpy. I need to remember now that when I one-hand drift, I have no way to access my clutch. So I just need to, you know, just use your brain when you're in the future, just to make sure that it's not like screwing yourself, right? Frick. And this was my test turn too. Oh, well, it doesn't matter until I turn the setting on. Either way. All right, that was fine, right? Just have a little crash sesh, just to see how it reacts through a crash. So he's really not turning back by himself as much. That's something that I do notice, right? So I turn, we're drifting, right? We're drifting this way. So I turn like this, drifting that way. You see how bright that light just got? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what I get to deal with on occasion. So we're drifting like this. The car goes, and then when I release, right, to straighten that wheel back out, usually, what you would think would happen, right, is you're drifting, is you'd straighten out, and depending on your angle, speed, etc., he would whip back out the other way. And then the wheel would go like this, and it would be self-steering. And this, he doesn't do that much. You know, I let off that drift, and he's just straight. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just making, you know, I'm just making conversation, bro. Okay? Frick. Okay, good. Don't make fun of me just because I said something, you know? Okay, dude? Gosh. We're gonna try the 90-90. I mean, I feel like this has got to be totally wrong. Like, I just feel like... And honestly, this lap here, these next 2 laps that I do, is gonna decide. Because honestly, these past 2 that I just did were not that frickin' bad, dude. Actually quite manageable laps. So it's like, okay, I can learn that. And I would prefer to learn it with the setting off than with the setting on. But, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to how are you using the setting? You know, are you using the setting to, okay, I'm going to learn like this and then I'm going to turn it off later? I do not recommend that method. Don't do that. Okay? Oh, let me start with the wheel at 540 and then I'll bump it up to 900. Get the frick out of here, dude. I would prefer to take the smaller amount of time that you suck to learn it on 900. Either way, that's just my input, you know? So that's my question is, am I using this setting just to learn? Or am I leaving the setting on, like smoothness? Like smoothing. Am I leaving the setting on? Because then, okay, fine, I'll learn the game with the setting on because that setting is a part of my game. I just, you know, that's totally fine. I'm just more so against when people are like, why does that turn my headlights on? Should that not turn on my running lights first and then my headlights? Oh, that's different. Okay, I'll change that later. But you know, that's just my gripe, man. Okay, I'm wasting my laps. I don't want you to turn a setting on that you intend to change later once you get better. I'm like, man, okay, if you're gonna use these settings, use these settings. That's it. That's where it ends, okay? There is no, oh, let me change it once I'm better, because then you're not better. Then you're gonna suck again, dude. It just increases the amount of suck time. And I don't want that, right? Nobody really wants that. Learn it once, learn it the more difficult way. Whatever, right? Ugh, frick me. See, I almost went for the frickin' shifter. If I had pulled the handbrake on point, we would have been chilling. So, I noticed the feedback is way tighter. But I honestly can't decide which one I like more. Like, I feel like, okay, well, if I like the other one, couldn't I just bump the feedback up a little bit? And that'll be the next test. I'm sure. Turn the setting back off, turn the feedback up to 50, right? We'll see how that acts. I need to go through... This game I haven't really played at all since I got the wheel. Okay? I wanted to save this for a stream so that I could see, okay, how much was I struggling when I first started with this wheel versus how I am today. And I say today because I'm, you know, in my mind, I'm watching this video in the future once I'm better, right? So I'm like, okay, so what did I struggle with? And then I'm probably going to go back and I'm going to laugh and be like, ha, no way he used that, you know, that 90/90 filter. That's so awful. That's so scuffed. I know, I agree. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it either. And honestly, the drifting, it doesn't feel much different, dude. It really doesn't. Okay, I'm just being real. It actually feels a little bit worse in regards of spinning out that way, you know? I knew I was gonna smack that. Can he save it without letting off the throttle? Anyways, I think I'm gonna turn that off. And I'm gonna turn the feedback up to 50. Because that's what it feels like, dude. Like, that is tight. That is tight, dude. And I like the way that feels. That feels good. This. Turn that crap off. Oops. And then we're going to make this 50. So now it feels taut. It actually feels a little bumpier. Like the smoothing was off almost. That's what it feels like. We're going to see how it does. Does in a lap. Man, that feels good. Oh, dude, yeah, it's a little too bumpy there, pal. See, the thing with the setting is the setting allows me to have that tightness, but it doesn't make it bumpier. Tell me how that happens? I don't know. But the tautness feels about the same. I will say that. What the frick, man? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try one last couple of things. Then I'm gonna turn the setting back on. Because that's what this stream is, bro. This is test stream. If you thought that you were gonna see me out here being correct, wait a couple months, okay? That's all I can say, dude. Okay, this feels good. Oh, I like this a lot, dude. I like 45 a lot. Holy crap. You know, it's just weird. Like, sometimes things just hit in my brain, okay? Like, once I hit that perfect frickin' number, everything gets better. Drift failed, right? Would you say that in real life? I don't think so. And if you do, then you're... I don't know where I was going with that. It doesn't matter either way. This is pretty freaking smooth, though. I like this, man. I'm gonna try... I think it's time to try a new car. Because every car is slightly different, right? Not necessarily a ton, but... Man, remember this guy, dude? The Mega Backy Legend. I did this stream... When I did this stream, originally, right? Screws it up. It was great. I remember it. I actually do remember doing this stream. It stands out from the rest. I don't know why. All I know is that this car was great. It was on a Saturday night, and I streamed all night. And I ended at like 7 in the morning on Sunday. Okay, I don't like this guy. What the frick? What is this now? Okay, let's focus in. That's why I'm not focused. Sorry if my camera hasn't been the most centered today. I haven't really been focusing on the camera so much. I've just been trying to get my gameplay down. Name a situation where that happens. This situation is a situation where that happens. Look at that freaking stretch. Dude, like, be real. That's the interior of a 90 adhesion tire. Look at those fans, dude. Okay, anyways. Oh, that's lame. I can start without the clutch. What a joke. This game is an absolute meme. Oh yeah, well, I already knew that. Okay, that's not like a new discovery for me. For some reason, I just forgot or something. I don't know. Alright, let me try a big solid mega backy, even though oftentimes I mess it up right here. But if I was to get just a backwards... That is a good one, CarX. That is a memorable, you know, string of text. Man, it's just so easy to shift. I'm never gonna miss a shift again. Can you believe that? I will never again miss a shift unless I'm thinking, oh, I'm in second when I'm actually in third. But ultimately, I'm never gonna miss a shift as though I was, like, going from third to fifth. Ah. Oh, that was sick. Holy crap. And then I screwed it up, of course, but it was originally sick. This guy's doing alright. I do like the setting off at 45. The setting off at 45 is pretty freaking good. Let's get a new car, because I don't necessarily like him so much. I do sort of want to try that Skyline. This guy was good, dude. He just bogged a little bit. So I definitely got to stay on that clutch with this guy. But I sort of like him like that too, you know what I mean? Okay, this guy feels weird. I can already feel it, dude. I remember this with the Logitech. He just felt weird on the feedback. Ugh, why do you go straight to turning the headlights on? Okay, seriously, that should not be doing that. That should not be doing that. Settings. Controls. Advanced. Nope. Steering wheel. This. Base. Lights, lights, lights. Lights. Turn the lights on or off is unbound. That is correct. Lights. Keybinds menu. Toggle lights. Button 3, running lights. Also button 3. Which one do you pick first? Ah, something to note on this car. His running lights activate the headlights. Okay, what's a car that's normal, right? That has running lights. That don't activate the headlights. Is it running lights? It must not be running lights. There's no way that it's running lights. Pop-ups mode. Signals. No, it's got to be running lights. There's no shot. Which one turns on just the taillight? And, like, the orange lights. That's what I want. Those are called running lights. Okay? They're trying to make me out here as some fool. I'm not a fool. What? Why does that open when I hit the brake? There's no shot that my finger actually caressed that and made that open. Running lights. Button 3. I had this set before. That's what confuses me. I had it so that I could turn on the dash lights without headlights, and then click it again, and it would turn on my headlights. Click it again, it would turn off. I had no brights. I don't need brights. Okay, so that has nothing. That's normal. If I turn them all off, they shouldn't have anything, right? Left alt, page up. That is so frustrating, dude. That is actually frustrating. Go away. Go away. Running lights. Why? Am I, like, crazy or something? Because I didn't think so. I honestly did not think so. I thought that it worked okay. I don't know how any of those work. See, that's sort of sick, right? But why does it make my car fuzzy, too? Why? Because I don't know how to use it, that's why. That's the most focused. But it's still not 100% focused. It is still fuzzy. It makes my car fuzzy. Here we go. This is what I need. So I want very fuzzy. And then I want to bring this into focus. There we go. That's what I want. Now, there we go. See, now, that's exactly what I want. I can literally see it slide on and off the car. What a fun experience. Right? I'll take that. I'm sure I'll delete it later. Alright, very... I hate... Look at my HUD, dude. It messed up my HUD. Every time I go to camera mode, it makes the buttons all tiny. Like, the lettering and all that in there is all way too small. Now, this guy, I would imagine, is going to be a little jerky. And sure enough, he frickin' is. Because he's a small little coupe And you know me, I don't really like them, dude. I do not like my coupes. That was a mega backy if I've ever seen one. Dude, did you see the tail light right there? Do I have a pause button? I don't think I have a pause button even bound. I really need to finish binding this whole game. If I were to pause the game... Ooh, R. That'd be a good one for restart track, huh? Start would be a good one for the car, wouldn't it? Instead of B. Then I'd have to change that in all of my games. I might do that. I might do that today. I might rebind... You know, I won't do that on stream, of course. I'm gonna sit here and beast out a little bit. And then come later in the day, I might rebind all of my games with a little bit more match in this. Okay, this is smooth enough for me. Major clipping down there, by the way. Just noticed that. Major clipping on the side skirt. Very unprofessional. Can't believe I actually let that slide. And I didn't notice that, you know? That is not a drift fail, bro. That is not a drift frick. Get the frick out of here, honestly. Alright, I think I'm ready. When I get in there and I get on a car that I don't necessarily know, that's one of the greatest ways to just learn. Right? It's not your favorite. Never has been. But you're out here grinding it. Where am I? Oh yeah, I was on this crap too, and this freaking sucks. I'm not using that design. This livery is atrocious. Not this one. This is actually sort of hard. Ew. Ew. Come on, dude. It's like he went hard up to like here. The back looks chillin', and then the front is like, what is this, dude? Like the dust, even the quality of dust and grime is just lacking right there. Boobs. Yeah, it just looks awful, dude. Be real. That one. That is funny. That is... This one's not bad. Oh, yes it is. It looks so much better from a distance. But as you can see, the anime liveries severely lacking on this truck. That's why I ended up with some bull crap like I did. This is going to be the winner right here. Absolutely. Look at that. If I actually, you know, color match it properly like this, that looks nice. Save livery. The frick was that? Kino user-made content hub? I've never been to this website. What is this? What the frick? Oh, this is where you get the cool stuff, huh? All the custom objects. See, this is the crap that I've never really messed with. And I feel like that is a major L for me. I need to get on this. S13 custom fenders. BMW 5 Series model replacement. This is where the game actually gets cool. Benny's Garage. Be real, dude. You can have Benny's Garage. Added toggleable light box for easier livery editor access. Anyways, I'm gonna look into this. Model swaps. Square Russian plates. I mean, there's wheel packs. Slide shop pack. Face swaps, dude. Frick, dude. Celica right-hand drive interior swap. Interior remesh. Oh, dude. It's a little sad that I haven't looked into this far earlier, huh? Ah. Alright, I'll just do it myself because I like this front bumper. But I don't want this big. The hood's okay. The mirrors could be changed. Do we got color match? No. And that's stock, huh? Yeah, I guess I'll leave them up there then. No. That'll be cool. You know why? Because we have real car mirrors now. Sure, I'll keep the cage. How do I change that side crap? I can't, huh? They don't let you. Unless it counts as a rear bumper. No. So I actually need to change this body to not have that. That is so sort of stupid. Oh, that's a cool exhaust. I like that a lot. Okay. Okay, I like that hood. Fenders. Color match for sure. Side mirrors. We want the little round ones. Don't need that bull crap. How does missile change? Just removes what? The handles? Is that what that is? Just latches? Sure. Ooh. They're both bash bars, but one's just behind the lights. Definitely. More visual, the more better. No. Be real, right? You know, that actually looks okay with the, mm. Ooh. Man, that is rough. If that one did it on both sides, that would probably be the winner. But frick it. Right, I'm still gonna make that one the winner because that's far less common than what you would normally see. Normalcy? Normally see, okay, dude? Gosh. I was seeing if they had one with a white stripe. They did not. Ew. Really? Not a single... Come on, dude. Speak English. Not a single tire brand listed on the livery that I am seeing. YOLO's it is. That doesn't even look that bad, dude. I like that. Okay, we're going to buy that bull crap. We're going to design and paint. We will go with the light pink that they had, as that matches pretty well. But it must be gloss, and it must be pink. Hmm. That's a weird color to match. That color, the My Melody, that's sort of what I was trying to do, but it's like, how do you match that, dude? I guess sort of like that. We'll see how it looks. You know, it always looks different in the game. That's why it always throws me off. This thing is gonna be sick. I can already tell you now, man. Already given me caster. Hey, at least it didn't give me no toe, right? That's when I really start to complain. Dude, I can't hit. There we go. Ackerman. Zero ack. Full angle. Gorgeous, dude. I'm telling you, man. This is really something else. See the lights flicker? Yeah, I saw it too. Okay, we got... Alright, so what I'm going to do for that fix is I am going to bump these back up to 25s. I don't know, man. Since we're gonna have to have that much gap, I'm gonna add it in the front. Not because I need it, right? It's not like a need. It's just for matching. Let's go ahead and make this guy start off with... $600. $599. Sequential spool on a 329. Get the frick out of here. I didn't necessarily want to run him in 4th, even though that doesn't matter anymore. Hear me out. The reason that I used to always want my cars in 3rd gear is because then I always knew where the gear shifter was. Always at top middle. So, okay, gotta go down and into 2nd. Right now it doesn't matter. Now I can run them at whatever the frick I want, and either way, the shifter will always be here, as is. So I'm gonna boost them back up to $599 on a 2.97. And I'm just going to try and run this guy in 4th. Man, look at that. I already drifting. And we're keeping it slow. He still picks up enough. He can pull out that bog, too. Watch. See, I won't even use any clutch. Never mind. Never mind. Just nix that. Nix that idea. See, so now when I'm coming up to a turn, I can go, bam! And then he's already down, upshift again. Coming into the turn, check this out, this is gonna be sick as frick. Downshift handbrake. Bring him down real slow. Boom! Right back into the action in 3rd gear. Right back into 4th, so he's not clipping. Rev limiting. What the frick am I on about? How peak is that, dude? Like, see, these are the kind of things that I'm gonna be excited to do once I'm good at the game, right? Ay, that was close. Alright. See, that's what sucks, man, is that I can't control the game with the wheel. So I gotta keep this on my lap, almost. Thankfully, it's far more doable with this setup than it was with the previous one. This, like, I can forget that it's there. Even though it's sitting right here on my lap, I can forget it. Which, you know, I'm okay with that, dude. But, like, dude, nothing works on this is just bullcrap. That sort of sucks, man. Usually it would pop me into gear, but this is going to keep me in second. So I'm going to have to start from second every time. That is a big L if you think about it. Mega backy. Man, dude, that shifting is immaculate. It's so clean. For the slightest little bog, I can just bog down a little bit. Oops. Okay, that was my bad. That was my bad right there. I completely screwed up all usage of buttons. But you know what I mean? Oh, he's bogging a little bit. Bogging a little bit on this turn, man. Third gear. Coming in clutch. Dude, this is going to be nice. Once I'm freaking good, this is going to be real nice. Don't you fail that. Oh, frickin' sick, dude. That was clean as frick. Be real. Be real, dude. Frick. So if I leave him in 4th gear, right? Does the game actually register that he's in 4th? Or is it going to be like, okay, he's starting a new race, he's in 2nd gear again? Is that how they're going to play me? I'm sure they will. Yep. That is lame, dude. Frick. And I have no buttons to restart, which that I can add. That I can add. Flashers do not matter. Okay. Clutch. Don't think either of those matter, actually, because nothing's on the wheel anymore. That's like old bindings. Restart track. R. Restore car should be button O, which is A. Indeed. Next gear, previous gear. Hide interface. Starter. I think that's really all I can frickin' do, man. So I got X as my ignition. I don't know, man. X as ignition, space is start, I guess. Dude, let me shift now, bro. Because that's going to screw me. It's actually going to screw me that I got to do that every time, man. Frick, dude, what the frick was that? Gosh. But then I don't have a button for A. Oh, that's so stupid, dude. That is actually dumb. What is the point of that? Do tell. Uh-oh. Frickin' annoying, dude. You know, number one, I'm not used to the wheel. Number two, we're chucking in frickin' snow maps. Literally the second map that I always do, but still, I'm gonna complain about it. I'm losing it. Frickin' losing it, dude. I felt it. As I was going down that hill, I'm like, what the frick am I doing here? Like, I was literally confused. Not a fan of this map yet. Give me a little bit to get better, then I'll like it again. I'm just not good enough, and it's already screwing me up not using my brain properly with the wheel. Now that we're adding in less grip. But hey, we're still getting gold, so that's alright. That's what we're here to do, is get golds. And I apologize again. I know I've been streaming for what? 2 hours almost already. But I do apologize that I wasn't here more of last week. And that's really, you know, ultimately, that's just due to, this whole setup was completely different. Number one, the last time that you saw it, the chair had its own freaking thing just like this on this side, right? It had an armrest. That's what it's freaking called. It had an armrest on this side, and I cut that out. And this whole freaking, like, all this padding and crap, it's still there. I pushed it down in the side now. So now it sits much lower. And before, I was having to reach like this. Okay, this is literally how my shifter was, height-wise. And I would sit there and I would hold it. Like now, you saw me, I was drifting a little bit earlier, and my hand rests on the shifter, right? That's natural for me. That's just how life works. So what I was going to do, or what I did, I guess, is lowered it down. I feel like the only bit that I'd want to do is add a little bit more support in this back corner. But at the end of the day, it's already pretty good, right? I'm shifting, it's not heavily moving. I'm probably just gonna leave it, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Kind of idea, right? Anyways, let's get to frickin' work, dude. I love this wheel. I really do. This thing is an absolute frickin' blast. Oh, it only shifted one gear? What an... oh. Man, dude, I feel like I'm in control right now. What the frick happened? Like, I feel like I'm in control, but my drifting is not all that good, actually. Oh, frick, dude, it feels nice, dude. This is so good. Frick, this is gonna be very enjoyable. And that was my one concern, is I was really struggling with this game. Like, you saw how I was when I first started. And I mean, yeah, having prior wheel experience definitely helped me immensely. But there was some things that I was just like, dude, I don't know if I'll be able to fix this. You know, I honestly don't know if there's anything that I could do about this. Maybe this game's just screwed. Which ultimately I guess was not the case, but I'm still confused as to how I got ultimately better. It still throws me off a little bit. Frick, that was the camera that I needed. Ugh. I just wanted to try a quick little ripping first. I don't know, man. You just know me when it comes to first-person drifting. I'm not your guy. I am not your guy, pal. Do not pick me. I really don't think anyone would, but... dude, that's just not my forte. It's really not. And look at this bull crap, dude. You stop focusing. Unbelievable performance out of Simvict here. Let's focus up, huh? I don't care how I get into gear, as long as I get into gear. Right? You saw how I did that, how I was using the paddles. I don't care. Come on, buddy. See, I feel like I'm just overshooting turns a lot still. I feel like that one is going to take me a little bit to get used to. But that's definitely what's happening, is I'm swinging way too wide. I'm not cutting in deep enough. Because at the same time, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh, I think it's gonna, you know, make me spin out. Even though that's not necessarily the case, I just still have that fear. I'm not ready to push the wheel all the way just yet, if that makes any sense. You know, it's not that the wheel can't be pushed all the way, it's that I don't trust how to pull out of that maneuver. You know, if I come in real frickin' tight like this to get a mega backy, it still counts as a fail. That's what I'm talking about right there when I say push it to the limit. I don't feel comfortable enough to get all those mega backies yet. See, and that one overshot again by a ton. Still came out of it with the mega backy, but at the end of the day, that wasn't clean. Okay? And it could just be this vehicle that doesn't do them very well. There's multiple factors. And there we go, swinging too wide again. Unbelievable performance. Okay, that was pretty good, bro. Not gonna lie, that was pretty good. See the lights going crazy in here? So did I. That was pretty sick. That was a good lap. That was a good lap. We're getting there. I know I'm gonna suck on this one, but that's alright. That is alright. Gotta love it when the wheels turned, man. And then I did all that focus on shifting just for it to be thwarted by a reset. Let's see how I do down the straightaway. And the wheel is actually putting in 99% of the frickin' work. Unlike the Logitech, if y'all remember when I was coming down this way, I would always have to crank the wheel left and right because it didn't self-rotate enough. Look at that. All I had to do is let my hand caress over the wheel, and it frickin' did my entire manji for me. That's the word, right? Manji. Kiss the wall. Come on. They aren't gonna pay me that? That's some bullcrap, dude. Ay, almost messed up. Still going to. Just watch, I will. Almost pushed it too wide again, dude. Like, you literally can't make that up. It just happens. Just happens to do that every single time. Sure, dude. I need to get a little bit better in that regard, I would think. Ah, frick again, dude. Frick again, right? What is going on with my hat? Get the frick out of here, dude. That was clean as frick if I've ever seen it. That was clean as frick if I've ever seen clean, dude. Get the frick out of here. Frick. That didn't happen. That does not count. That was past the moment. That was past the frickin' moment. This hat is tweaking on me right now, dude. It feels completely off, and that's screwing up this whole run. Ugh. Unbelievable. See, like I said, don't have that trust for the wheel yet. I just don't have that. That'll only come with time. There's nothing that I can do right now. I need to know if I can do that and be okay. And I was able to, right? That will be a fun one to learn, because that I can actually do. But imagine, like, once I'm actually good enough, I'll be able to do that. Handbrake, the wheel is trusted, right? Once I trust my wheel as to what it does when it's handbroked, then I can downshift. Oh, fricker, dude. He just kept frickin' sliding, even with maximum brakes. We got gold, right? Okay, we're gold. See, I was just screwing around too much. I didn't even know my score anymore. Okay. What is going on here? Ugh. That is gonna suck, dude. Not having... Like, we got a whole freaking D-pad and it doesn't work. I'll be researching how to do that. There's gotta be ways to make it work, man. The sequential shifter is like the smoothest part of the whole setup right now. Man, imagine I could just reach over and click it up. Dude, that would be the sickest thing. Hand broke and I could just... Huh. Man, that would be clean, dude. See, I don't trust it enough yet, man. That is so... You know, it's just frustrating for me. It's more so... It's not really like the end of the world. It's just frustrating for me because I know the game well enough that I feel like I should be able to do most of this stuff already, but it's to be expected with a brand new setup. Look at how much smoother that is transitioning from when I started this play session. And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't change frickin' anything, which is the most frustrating. Like, it was so much different before. Was that really just my lack of understanding? Because that's difficult for me to even believe that, dude. Oh, you mother fricker, dude. That is extremely frustrating. Nice, dude. Alright, so as we continue, I got a silver. I wasn't paying attention. See, that's awful, dude. I wasn't paying attention. Uh-oh. Oh. Way too close, dude. Get the frick out of here. Mother fricker, dude. Mother fricker. It's no point to have a reset button on here if all I can do is reset and then they still block me with a frickin' keyboard action. That's some frickin' bullcrap, dude. That's the most asinine feature I've ever seen. Oh, we'll give you a reset button, but we won't give you any other frickin' keybinds to bind on your wheel. What the frick is that? There should be up, there should be down, left, right. There should be tabs. I should be able to bind all that bullcrap, dude. That's just wasting my frickin' time. Frick, dude. It's actually frustrating. That's actually what it is, dude. Like, oh, wow, what's the frickin' point of having that bullcrap? There's literally none. Huh. Just frustrating, dude. Now I'm all frickin' mad. What's the freaking point of even having that bullcrap, dude? Nothing. What do you mean drift failed? Get the frick out of here with that bullcrap, dude. Mother fricker, dude. It doesn't even matter. Okay, it does not even matter. I'm already gold. Drift failed. Look at all that. Alright. I feel like we are making progress, but very slowly. Do you agree? Do you agree? I feel like I'm far slower than I usually am. Wow, look at that. The wheel actually straightens itself. Logitech would never. It literally would not. Gotta be getting those mega backies. Drift failed? Okay, we gotta restart. I do like that button, I guess, okay? I'm a little frustrated about it, but I do like it. It works. It is quicker than pressing escape first, you know, escape, move the mouse, restart. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit easier. Still a little frustrating, but that's all right. The frick wouldn't it go into second? They actually limit you? I never noticed that. I guess they oftentimes do. So that's not that big a deal, actually. Okay, we are all gold so far. That's unbelievable, dude. I'm only like halfway down one row. That is slow work if I've ever seen it. Ah, boo-hoo. Always right at the frickin' end. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can give up now, and then it doesn't frickin' end. So far, this light here, the rev, I've only gotten it to work in a Seto. I think it would be relatively annoying in this game. It would just always be capped out. Most of the times, right? I really don't see much use to having it anyways. I never look down at the frickin' wheel unless I'm trying to find like a button. Okay? I'm not just sitting here watching the wheel. I just know what the wheel does, and I watch the game. So, having lights on your frickin' wheel like that is just a little bit useless for me. It's a cool feature. I just wish they would stay off if they weren't in use. I don't like the flashy bit. Sorry, not focusing. Holy crap, dude. Can we just do a clean frickin' lap here? Let's make some frickin' progress. Yeah, Mrs. Shifter. What a joke. I would have respected him more if he had put me into second gear like I requested. Look at that sick freaking exhaust, dude. That looks pretty cool. I will say. If that was double-sided, that would be really freaking sick, dude. Ugh. Didn't lose my score. Hashtag cracked. Pretty nice, dude. It's pretty nice. I will be able to get far more in control. I will. You know, that's really just time at this point. But this stream is legendary. It really is. I do so think that it is. Because it's only going to be this one frickin' time. Frick me pressing A. What a Logitech maneuver. But you know, like, next stream, I'll be better. And the next stream, I'll be even better. And I'll never have this amount of skill again. That's why it's special. And, you know, there's nothing like watching yourself screw up the freaking key bindings either. You know? Oh, shoot. I went for the handbrake. Should have went for the clutch. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, dude. Mega backy or mega fail? Mega fail. I mean, technically both, but I was really frustrated with that. You see the phone just fell off there. Oh, mother fricker, right at the end. Always, every time. Frick, I missed it. Missed the finish line. That's a... Is that a first? That's not a first. Technically, I missed it on the snow map, too, but... I don't know. I think this is a first for this map, anyways. Holy crap. Frickin' loser. Man, that's some good crap. Especially when it's your second one, too. It just tastes different. Come on, you frick. Oh, mother fricker. Well, fine. I'll take it. I still stalled, right? That's that lack of brain-to-hand connection, for some reason. Very annoying. Holy crap, dude. That was the weirdest jump I had ever seen. I'm being for real. He went up, and the wheel went full what? Like left or something? Frick out of here, man. There, cleanest one yet. That's sort of sad. Nice. That was a clean maneuver there, Sinvict. Big W. Really making a name for yourself with that one. See, my brain, when I said I was sitting there thinking, dude, I was like, okay, what is the best option here? And the best option was downshift, but because my mind thought, okay, I need to downshift, I didn't think to hit the throttle. So he bogged down and I proceeded to mess up. You gotta hit the throttle first, right? So I'm coming in slow, throttle, then downshift. And it works so much cleaner, see that? May not have been the cleanest over here, but in the gameplay, it looks smooth as butter. Look at that. Like, you can't tell all that crap is happening in the game. Like, if you just watch the game, when I like, go back 10 seconds, right? Just watch that turn in the game, and then watch how shaky I made it look in the camera, and I was like, oh, right? And I'm probably exaggerating that, but just note, the game was like chilling. It was like, oh, perfect input control. That's what you call it, I guess. Well, I guess it would be better if I made it clean on my side as well. But again, that's the time factor. Frickin' sunglare crap is this bull crap? And I'm not even gonna change it either. I'm just gonna turn the headlights on and restart. Which restarting turned them off. My bad. Okay, this one's gonna be a little rough. Coming like this. Ugh. Alright. Screw the headlights. That's what was messing me up. I was watching the headlights as I was drifting. That literally messed me up. You can think that's some lame excuse, but that's real. That's how I want to be, dude. I want to be very comfortable with those mega backies again. What is this frickin' time of day, dude? This is the worst. And like, the other maps were totally fine. That's the most annoying part. Like, what the frick happened to Navarro here, you know? Come on, dude. That was a mega backy. That was not a drift fail. But that was. Get the frick out of here, dude. That was more of a fail than the last one. That's some bull crap when they pull that stunt, dude. That was not clean, low bro. Okay. Yeah, I feel like if I could just get like one more piece of wood right over in this area, just to fill this gap. There's a slight gap you can see between chair and wood. That would do it for me. Oh wow, I can frickin' see again. What in the world? Frick was that bullcrap, dude? That's some bullcrap. That was not a fail. I need to get quicker on the handbrake to clutch. Because, yes, there is a time, yeah. Okay, the handbrake will keep me from stalling, but there's a time where I need to not be slowing down as much. Handbrake off, and I need to be on this clutch. to get that wheel spin back. That's what I need, right? That was probably one of the worst Navarro laps I've ever done, coming in at 29K, but I don't really care. Gold is gold to me, right? This level still feels extra grippy on this wheel, I will say. See, I missed my clutch button. Can you believe that? I missed that. That big frickin' button on the back there, I missed it. Yeah, dude. Frick. Man, I just had to say something. That was going alright, too. That's the annoying part. Gotta get better with those controls, man. I really do. And I will. I will. Frick, dude. Pulling the clutch? I could have used the handbrake right there. Straight clutch on that one. Straight clutch on that one. That was the proper command to input. Finally, he did something right. San Palazzo. 100K time? Josh, of course. I'm not here to do any 100Ks right now. I'm just here to frickin' drift. Look at that. It does all of that by itself, dude. Unrealistically smooth. But seriously, from like how I started, that was awful. That was horrible. Frick, I hate it when my arm itches when I'm trying to drift. See that? That was my brain working right there when I used that clutch. Oh, frick yeah, dude. Man, that was smooth as frick. Right into the coolest mega backy you've ever seen that the average game would say drift failed. Can you believe that bullcrap, dude? Be real. Be frickin' real. That was sick. I gotta move this, okay? To not even be trying. And to come out with a 74K. 76, my bad. Imagine that was minus 10, dude. Definite improvement on this map, I will say. It's like my brain's starting to pick it up a little bit, and that's really how I frickin' work, too. Like, be real. I'll sit here and I'll suck for the longest amount of time, and then I'll just be doing one random lap, and I'm like, oh, I got it now. I completely understand what needs to happen. And I know I'm not there 100%, right? But I feel like the confidence level, based on this lap alone, half a lap, not even a whole lap, is far increased. Like, I'm getting my downshifts and clutch movement on point right there, right? Wasn't the cleanest line. We're not talking about lines right now. We're talking about inputs. And because I started to talk about it, of course, I'm gonna suck. And then he rolls. Come on, dude. Just let me finish. Don't roll over. Just let me finish. Fricker, dude, I didn't think fourth would rip that much. That's why I was prepared to downshift, and then he overspun still. Well, honestly, dude, that was a pretty clean lap overall. Rick, I needed to be on that clutch. If I had been on the clutch, that would have been so much better. But that was all my L right there. I accept. And what the frick was that, dude? I thought I was learning the input. And then right back to square one. The frick was that double handbrake pull. I was like, here's what went through my mind. Just so that you know, I was like, okay, I need the handbrake. Sick, great, that's all fine and dandy. And then when I pulled it the second time, I'm like, wait a minute, I need the clutch. Move your hand and click the clutch button, dummy. You're not gonna learn if you're not slightly hard on yourself, okay? That's what I believe anyways. You can't be like, oh, it's okay, sweetie. Just try again, you'll get it next time. No, you frickin' suck, dummy. What the frick are you doing? Oh, handbrake. Oh, that starts it? No way, the handbrake starts the race? Did I just unlock peak? That was sort of sick though, dude. That actually works? No way. Yeah. This is nice, dude. This is actually pretty relaxing. That was proper right there. Clutch and brake. Not clutch and handbrake, clutch and brake. The crew, I don't know if y'all have ever really got to see that tattoo in the highest of quality yet, since we went back to the POV cam. Yeah, very nice, dude. As I lift invisible weights, drifting, right? Okay, so can I just... Oh, sick, dude. It must be joy to key. That's what I would imagine. Okay, I could get used to that, man. I really could. If I can... Frick out of here. If I can control it without ever needing the mouse, that would be preferred. I hate this map. I'm slamming both frickin' brake. What the frick was that bullcrap? I really need to use the restroom. But we're gonna finish this because I frickin' hate this map with a vengeance and I don't want to have to come back to this. What the frick, dude? I wonder if I can bind whatever this thing is reading to A, and then it would let me use that to at least restart a little easier. Alright, let's get away from that area. That I freaking screwed that up every single time I went through it. Let's not talk about that one, pal. Clean frickin' input right there. Good job. Good job, dude. Frick, man. I was thinking I might have actually almost saved that. Sorry. I knew this lap would sort of suck too because it's Mondello. I just suck on Mondello. And I don't know what the frick I'm doing, so... I'm just trying to get on the road and get to the frickin' end of the lap, please. It's so weird seeing that, dude. When I hit all the pedals at once, look at that. What am I doing? You see me reaching over here on the frickin' wheel for a clutch button? What the frick are you doing, dude? Focus up. Holy crap, dude. Frick, yeah, dude. Too much brake. Unbelievable, dude. How often do you use too much brake? Alright, well, hey, we ended it with gold, so we're chilling in my eyes. Right? We are chilling in my eyes. I could care less. I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick, and then I'll be right back. And we'll continue down the list. It's not bad. I am improving. It's slow work, but I'm improving. Unbelievable, guys. Pardon that delay. Anyways, I want to possibly... Holy crap, dude. And I've just been hit with this wave of cough. It's awful. What was I gonna say? I've already forgotten. Holy crap, that almost just fell over. Oh, the camera. I want to change the camera, dude. It would be nice if it was more so like this, right? Would you agree? Now, how do I make it do that? Do I turn the hat and leave my head straight? How does this look, right? I just want to learn the way to do it every time, right? Because what I don't like is when I'm sitting here like this, and you can't see the handbrake at all. So you'll just see my arm, or you won't even see the arm, and you won't know what I'm freaking doing. I want to be sure that both of them, like this is peak right here. If it could always look like this. However, that's just not practical for me, for my head position as I'm drifting. I would always turn back to be something like that. You know, that's just natural. Like, I can't help that. Holy crap. But you know what I mean? Dude, I just don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm sure this is real stupid. Yeah, I don't want that angle. That's a little excessive. Let's just see how I do. See what I do with my head, I guess you could say. Ricker, dude. Gosh. I keep looking over at the camera. Sorry, I need to put it straight back on my head. Dude, what the frick happened to me? Man, I just sort of suck right now, dude. Focus. Lock in. Can I drink some liquid to stop this darned cough? Oh, that feels so much better. I don't know what the frick happened, dude. It's not... It's not over yet. Oh, dude, I remember that last time I was hit with that... One of my streams. I don't even remember if it was Beam or Aceto. Or this. But I started coughing. And I was like, no, my line. No. Man, that was so hilarious. And I lost my line because of a cough, and I got frustrated. So then I can just do down 1, enter. Interesting. Give me one moment. Let me see what he says. Oh, this is not... Never mind. Not the person I was expecting to contact me. Frick, dude. That's not good. I'm trying to stream, man. Oh, what the frick, dude? Sometimes. Dude, literally, what the frick? I remember back in the day when I sucked so much that I couldn't even hold a drift long enough for the smoke to start. Is anyone else in that stage or like remember being there? Dude, I did that for the longest frickin' time. Unfortunately, I did not stream a lot of that. And I wish I had now, to have more official, or not official, but like original, content, I guess, of the, you know, CarX, of the learning experience. But that's all good. It's not the end of the world. At least I still got those first 3, and I'm very happy with those. Cause I did freaking suck. I did freaking suck a lot, dude. Holy crap. I really suck right now. But yeah, dude, that was just weird. Okay, focus in. Focus in. Lock up. Why am I being so stupid? Just shut up, dude. Ugh, see, there I was swinging wide again, dude. And again, dude. Turn in. Turn in. Mega backy. Let's go, dude. Should not have probably done that. You know what I mean? I think I should have just went straight, clutch. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm in a truck or something is sort of affecting how I'm drifting. Or maybe I just actually don't like understand this frickin' wheel yet. Cause I really don't feel like I'm swinging that wide. But at the end of every turn, I'm right up next to the wall, curb, whatever, you know? Holy crap, dude. Kill me now. Alright. 2 more rows. Ah, parking A reverse. A fan favorite. I'm the fan right now in this scenario. Okay. I was just sort of planning how I needed to do that. And now I know. We're gonna handbrake immediately, shift into third with the wheel, and do it like that. Gosh, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So watch. Now I gotta try and do this right, and my brain isn't braining. Handbrake, let the wheel spin, third, go. Then fourth with that. See that? That's two different ways to frickin' shift is sort of hilarious. Uh-oh. Frick, my brain. There we go. Did you see all my hand movements I was doing? I was like, paddle, I need to downshift. But wait, you don't downshift like that. Yeah, it was... I don't know what the frick just happened. I still came out of it. Oh, frick. I just pulled the shifter thinking I was pulling the handbrake. Nice, dude. You know, this is real frickin' great. Uh-oh. There I go, swinging wide again, dude. That is the most annoying bit. Rats, dude, I was hoping he would just, you know, bump and slide. Bump and slide. Okay, handbrake. Enter. I didn't see what they said about me in the Discord. That's because nobody's talking about me in the Discord. Ugh. I look over at the freaking camera for 2 seconds, of course. Dude. Dude, I just freaking suck right now. Sorry. I do. I really freaking suck. Frick. I'm not even gonna get frickin' gold. Okay, dude, feels way off now. Frick off, dude. Holy crap, I'm trying to drift. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this camera situation, because I definitely would like the handbrake to be a little bit more visible. I really don't even think it's that far away, but I guess this camera just isn't that wide of a angle, so I'll see what I can do, but ultimately we're probably just gonna live with it, right? Because it's not the end of the world. The main focus is the wheel, I guess, anyways. As it should be. Uh-oh. But still, seeing the handbrake pull would be sort of sick, too. Because the shifter, that's cool. I guess that's cool. I do like having the shifter in it, but it's just very repetitive. So is the handbrake, though. But you know what I mean? Like, that, it's sort of cool. It's a long hold. This is just a stupid little click. Uh-oh. Cut too deep. Well, hey, we got gold, so that's alright with me. I was wondering if I'd hit that. The only real annoying part so far that I've been having with this game is at the start of the race. This thing keeps me in the gear that the game has put it into. Whereas before, with the 8 shifter, it would always read as 3, or it would always read as 4, etc., right? So the game would count up, and then right on green, it would be like, oh, he's inputting 4. So it would jump up, it would jump past 3 or whatever, you know? And this thing was not. And there is a slight delay, so that sort of sucks. You know, I can't just go 3-4 instantly at the beginning of a race, because it's delayed like that. Bad usage of the clutch yet again. What a new, you know, it happens all the frickin' time. Ah. Uh-oh. Yep, clutch. That's the right one to do. I should use a handbrake. Definitely a weird mass of controls to learn. And just the only fact that I'm not doing well is because I'm too new to it. So, you know, once I get used to everything, then it will be, you know, my own special setup. It's not like a big copy or something, you know. It's like, it's sort of cool that I have the options that I do. I like not having the clutch pedal. I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, I prefer that. You know, just left foot is brake, and right foot is gas. And that's just easy, you know? So I definitely prefer that over, you know, 3 pedals. You know, that's what everyone else would have. That's why I say that mine is special. That was a pretty good start, huh? I like that. Frick yeah, dude. See, I'll guarantee you that whole section there, the camera couldn't see me pulling the handbrake. Look at that. The wheel does the work itself. That is so sick. All I gotta do is sit here and slightly control it. Oh, dude. Frick. What is my phone blowing up about? Yippee, everyone's favorite LA block reverse, dude. Frick. I freaking hate this map. Ah, fricker, dude. Oh crap. I was trying to just chillax and do well, and then that bull crap starts. Here goes nothing. I hate this frickin' one, dude. This crap right here. Just a backwards. Thanks for screwing me. That wouldn't have failed if my brake pedal had been my clutch, because that's how I was using it in that one. Come on, dude. I freaking hate. And I suck at getting mega backage right now. That's the thing. That's the most annoying part, and that's what you freaking need on this bull crap. There we go. That's gold on the first freaking turn. There goes nothing. Oh. That was so close. Alright, I'm improving a little bit, but I still feel off on quite a bit of the controls. But I'm doing pretty well in first person, not gonna lie. Oh, frick. And I'm not anywhere near gold, right? You know, I just figured I would have gotten gold off of that, dude. I only messed up like twice. The rest of it was a pretty clean... But I guess when I'm in first person, I am a lot more cautious. I don't know, man. It's just weird. Still feel like I did pretty freaking good, though, on the majority of that. Oh, same frickin' place, dude. Very good. Gold, of course. I never care about that fail anymore, dude. It's just not even worth it. That one, the likelihood of you getting out with a score is already slim. Just because of the tightness. If you try to do it, you know, and look clean about it, they're probably gonna fail you. But if you know, make it a little nastier and do it their way, they might let you out. But I don't care, right? It does not change if you get gold or not, if you fail that. It's just, your lap starts here, you know? It's just, I just really dislike that start. It's just not cool. Ah, dude. Gonna need to be getting more score than this, so... Dude, that wasn't even that bad. I didn't think that would actually count. The whole one-handed transition thing is really a lot more difficult with this wheel. Like, I was just like, holy crap, dude. It's not necessarily fighting you, it's just... It is a little bit harder to turn than the Logitech, by quite a bit, of course, even at this stage. Oh, where did I miss, dude? Oh, that is so annoying. Oh yeah, I did. Checkpoint missed. There we go. They ain't gonna pay me that. Dude, what the frick is happening here? Why do I suck so much? Uh-oh. Ah, great. Nice skill, dude. I didn't think that would work. If we're being honest, I was like, nah. Alright, one more row, huh? Not that bad. Not that bad. Ah. Not a bad lap. As he almost obliterates it. Gotta love that, dude. Not a kiss the wall. Uh-oh. They would have given me that too. Alright. Oy. I'm just gonna finish this car and then I'll be done. I don't want to necessarily stream too much because I'm getting tired, but I just want to get like a couple in while I'm still learning the game. You know what I mean? Because once you know it, then you got that skill, and then nothing's really that cool. You just know exactly what to do basically every frickin' time, and you hardly ever mess up. Which that's not really the case. I still mess up quite a decent amount, even on the Logitech, I mean, but most of the times I could just look at a turn and line up when to use the handbrake, when to use the actual brake, and, you know, line up many turns like that. But now I don't really do that. So that's why I want to just do little sections at a time. I need to do something, then I need to stop, and I need to think about it, I guess, right? That's just how I work. What do you mean drift fail? Gosh, dude. Why does my mouse keep appearing up in the top right? It shouldn't be. But apparently it's moving over on that couch. Right next to my phone. I'm not even gold yet. This is frickin' annoying. It's just sad. It's sad. Dude, that is so frustrating. I was wondering if that was actually gonna happen, or if I was just seeing that. But no, it actually happened and actually screwed me. That was a clean frickin' section too. That's annoying. Come on, man. That was a little petty. Gotta get up to 24K and I'm only at 18. Let's lock in a little bit, huh? Nice pedal control, right? Speed that whole bit up. I think we'll be alright. Yeah, we already are. Man, this thing feels nice to use, I will admit. The sequential shifter is my go-to for any future Sims. Anything. You know, this blows H shifting, for me, it blows it out of the water. And it's not that it's more simple, not simpler. Simpler? Is that a freaking word? More simple, I guess. It's not that it's more simple, right? It's not just, oh, up and down, that's what I like. Easy peasy, right? Not really. I just like it because it just feels a lot more, I don't know, dude, efficient? Not necessarily easier, just more efficient. And honestly, it's very cool. I love it. It just feels very natural to me. Especially when I'm in like a grippy race car or something. That's when it feels the best. I'm like, wow, dude. Like, this car was made to shift fast and just, it's just nice, you know what I mean? Which, that would be great to do in this game. If you get a grippy all-wheel drive build or something, or, you know, just any sort of grip build. And run down the Nords or something, you know? I think I have that truck. I might be able to use that if I really feel like it. Ah. I didn't even think that was that much of a mess up, man. Nice. What in the world? This thing's just a tad too low, I might say. Oops. I just wanted to see if it would pull it in, and it didn't. I guess I could have reacted a little bit better, but... Come on, dude. We're at 6 freaking K. This is awful. think I'll save the grip racing bit for another day. I just feel like finishing up this car. We'll see, but probably not. But that will be fun. That will, you know, I can use my truck or whatever. Just grip down, you know, try a couple tracks. And, you know, sequential all the way, FOV, or POV, I should say. It'll be sick. That's when I use POV, man, when I'm racing. That's the only time. It just doesn't feel the same when I'm drifting. But when I'm racing and the vehicle is under control, man, first person is the way to go for me. Even on a flat screen, I will admit. It's just weird on a flat screen, just in general. Look at that. Look at that. No miss shifts. Oh, I want to be in third. Want to be in fourth. Man, easy. Ugh. It's always swinging wide. Wow, one more map. Because you know me, I never count this one as a frickin' map. This is what you call a stellar waste of time, dude. Yeah, this thing is sick. This truck, I would actually rate it a little bit higher than most. You know me, oftentimes I love to say, oh, this thing sucks. You know, I wasn't really right off the rip hating this thing either. I think it's been an absolute blast to drive. It's actually relatively drifty, but at the same time, pretty grippy too. You know, if you want it to be grippy, it can do pretty well. Either way, I ain't complaining about it. And the sequential, using the sequential shifter, makes it so much easier to not be limited so much to third gear. I knew that was gonna happen. Didn't we all see that? I always do that, don't I? I will be very excited to go back to the beginning of this stream and just see how bad I was. To come to the end of it and see how much I have improved. That is the I don't know, just like the final goal of Simvict right there. That's the whole reason for any of it, is to just see how I change as I get better, as I progress, and to see that through years of video and years of work, I say, just frickin' playing games. But I think it's very interesting to see. I really do. Alright. This guy should be done now, correct? All gold, everything. And I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll run a lap. I won't change anything. I'll just use this guy. He should be... Oops. Sequential, 4-wheel drive. Where did you get to? Oh, these. Nords. I will rip the Nords a lap. In the sequential POV. Dang, this guy is grippy, man. This is gonna be so much fun to do the time attacks and whatnot. Just because I'm already relatively good at, I don't know, just grip. As he starts to spin out. Come on, dude. I figured you would have slowed down quicker. Dang, this thing really does get up and go, huh? 136 already? Holy crap. I didn't even notice that there's a shift light that's like under your legs. Look at that. It's a little bit too delayed for me though. I'd prefer it to be on at the 7 mark. This is pretty frickin' immersive, I will say. For being Car X, there's plenty of cars in Assetto and stuff that feel very similar to the script-wise. And I think it's sort of funny, like the immersive camera of CarX, but instead of using it for drifting, use it for racing. Like, my head is moving so much. And then every time you slam the brakes, that is also very sick. I love that. You're like, ugh. Even if you don't even hit it hard, it still moves quite a bit. Ah, frick. This guy's pretty freaking good, I'm not gonna lie. And I threw this truck together in like a couple minutes. I really didn't put that much time into it. I'm sure he could be a lot better too. But he's already pretty freaking good and grippy. Sort of impressive. I'm just that good, dude. I'm not even joking. This thing just feels like I feel like it says it's going fast, but it does not feel like it's moving that fast. It doesn't feel like I'm going 100 right now. But what do I know? If I hadn't crashed so much, my lap time probably would have been a little bit better. But still, to be around 7 minutes isn't that bad for having not practiced much at all in this game, or hardly ever playing it on the Nords. So I wouldn't even say that's that bad. Don't remember this being that bumpy. That's because it's not. I was joking. That's a lap. Alright. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Drink some more Mountain Dew. Just do it. Don't question it. Just do. So next time, I don't know what I'll do next. If I'm gonna come back and play more CarX, probably will. You know, probably will. That was a good freaking truck right there. I actually enjoyed that guy a little bit. So, who is next? We got some stupid cars that I'm probably, I'm gonna guess that this hot rod is actually gonna drift very well, but I just don't really like it. Like, this is not a drift car to me, but that's just me. Anyways, thanks for watching. I may be replacing this part of the shifter because it twists right off. Might be replacing it with a pink one because that would be sort of cool, right? And girlish, I guess. Is that the word? I don't know. I think it'd be freaking sick. However, I really do like the feel of this one. So, who knows what we'll do. But, anyways, peace. Have a good one. We'll be back. I don't know when. And we'll probably be playing more of this.